Welcome back to the Home Depot Center on day 3. As you can see, we play by our own rules here at the X Games. You've watched motorcycles fly, and the BMX dudes prove that they do a lot more than just take a walk in the park. But we're not even halfway through today. You'll watch reality TV star Ryan Sheckler face the reality of defending his gold in Street. Plus, later today on ESPN, you have BMX and skate invert. Plus, in the moto world, the Super X finals for men and women. But right now, it is all about the hybrid racing that we know as Supermoto, where your two-time X Games gold medalist Jeff Ward is your #2 qualifier. Does he have the stuff to get another medal? Paul Page, take us away.
Well, Sal, you're right down there in the middle of where all the action is about to begin. They've already moved into their positions on the grid. Aerial coverage today is provided by Goodyear. New Goodyear Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. And there you see Home Depot down below, ready for the Supermoto. Well, we thought that James Stewart, the two-time AMA Supercross champion, was going to be part of this, but he's not. Unfortunately, he had a problem in the qualifying. He got his shoulder into the wall, a bone bruise, and he's not going to be racing at all. But some of those who will be racing, there are some great names out there. There's some great names here in the booth as well. That's a good look to see what happened yesterday. All right, there is Jeff Ward, two-time gold medalist in Supermoto. He's won in IndyCar, finished second at the Indianapolis 500, and he's 48 years old. How about Burkhardt? 07 gold, led only the last lap. Last year, though, we thought this guy might have been the winner, but he had more than his problems. Right on the start, he got in trouble. Went down, took most of the field with him. Well, that put him way, way, way back. Then he started carving his way back through the field, and that happened. That pretty much ended his day. So let's compare Jeff Ward and Burkhardt for you. Little comparison on how those two look and their medal layout. With me is Doug Henry, and guess what? Jeremy McGrath is also here. So we're going to have one terrific day in Supermoto. They are going to start on the pavement this year, 3 abreast. And this course going from pavement, there's some concrete in it. Oh, it's going to be terrific. There is your starting lineup, Doug Henry.
I think it looks really good. It's really exciting to be here again for the X Games. I noticed a lot of differences in the track this year. This year they're starting on the asphalt. Asphalt start makes qualifying that much more important, because you get on the front row, you got a lot easier time of getting a good start and running away from the pack. Also, the dirt section here is a lot shorter and mellower than in the past season. So the guys that don't have a lot of dirt and Supercross experience will do a lot better this year.
Ready to get underway. 25 laps lie ahead. The course is just under a mile long. It's 5,000 feet, 3 big tabletops, and the 3 wide grid. They're counting down. The revs come up. We're getting ready to go. Supermoto at X Games 15 is underway. And they dive right for the first turn, and Ivan Lazzarini picks up the lead on number 30 right off.
I think he just had the good jump. I think Wardy was right there with the start, and they got away clean. Let's get through these first couple corners and bring them into the dirt section.
You see Ward on number 3 sitting just behind him, and they come onto the concrete. Whoa! Hang on to that. That was Curry.
Curry getting a little loose there, guys.
That's a real slippery section. That's where it goes from asphalt to a polished concrete. And there's so many different changes on this course that you have to get comfortable with your tires and get a good feel. When they go through the dirt section, come out onto the asphalt for the first time, it's the most slippery area of the whole track.
Wow, all the way out to the wall. Jeff is really pushing it.
Well, Jeff probably feels a little bit slighted. He got beat on the last lap of qualifying yesterday evening, and he was a little bit bummed about that.
Yeah, Lazzarini came in and changed tires right at the lap.
Well, as long as Jeff knows that, he knew that he was going fast. He's going fast enough to win this race. he has the most experience winning races in any category, I think, than anybody out there. So if anybody can come from behind and set the pace of or the tempo of a race, Jeff can do it.
He's also really good at just being patient and putting the pressure on. I mean, you've seen him do it 100 times through motocross, Supermoto. He'll sit right on your tail, let you make the mistakes, and then come through in the end, and he's a pro at that.
Yeah. We just got a quick shot of Adrien Scherer from France. He's the current 2009 FIM World Supermoto S2 leader, so he's got winning under his belt. He won the last 2 years of the S2 championship. I expect to see him just kind of try and move up there, and I know he wants the gold medal real bad this year.
Actually, you got 2 Frenchmen riding in 3rd and 4th right now. Scherer, who you mentioned, and just in front of him, the 164 of Bedard. And like you say, and it's something that may affect this. These are guys that have the European background and are a little more accustomed to races at this length.
Hey, you know, to be honest, the group right behind the front runners is tight also. They are not getting away. We got Anderson in 5th, Burkhardt in 6th, Mickey Diamond looking great in 7th, and then just a little bit of space to Curry. So this is a good race.
There's a great look down from over the track on the pavement section. How can you not love that shot? Look at that. That's the New Balance Flycam. It's just over the track. I was standing watching him practice, and that thing went overhead the other day. Had to be doing 80 miles an hour. It was so cool.
Yeah, I heard it could go 88. It's unbelievable to be able to fly down the straightaway like that. It's just such a neat and interesting way to check out all the racing.
Well, Lazzarini, the Italian, on 30. He remains out in front. We haven't had a change in the top of the order, but there's what Jeremy was talking about.
Yeah, this course yesterday was, I was watching some practice, and actually it's kind of crazy. I just looked up and I saw James hit his shoulder on the barrier. This track really narrows out in some areas, gets down to 15 feet wide, and with the shiny concrete, with the blacktop, and the rain gutters, man, it makes it tricky.
Looks like we're just completing lap 3 of the race, so there's still a lot of time in this event for Jeff to put on a charge. I'd like to see a look at Mark Burkhardt. I'm sure he's, you know, getting through the pack and trying to get his pace settled in there.
There's what Jeremy was talking about right there. That group running from 3rd on back to 6th. They're all right there.
Oh yeah, Mark's right behind Cassidy Anderson, it looks like, and starting to apply the pressure, so maybe he's going to be able to get around.
I think once it starts to spread out a little bit, Mark could find his pace, and you know, try and put that bike up front. You know, this year he just started. It's kind of his own team. He was the fastest guy in practice, and he is a 2-time AMA Supermoto champion.
And he just made the pass.
I want to remind you, you like motorcycles, motorcycle racing? How about Ricky Carmichael? He's got a chat going right now. You want to catch on to that? Information's right up there. You can chat live with him.
Whoa. Number 1.
Oh, they tangled.
Adrien Scherer getting in there.
You know, I wanted to get a chance to talk to the Dunlop guys, because I was curious to find out what kind of tires these guys would be running. I know last year they went for super soft tires because it was a really short race, but this year with a 20-lap race, some guys are probably on softer tires than others, and I think late in the race we may see the guys who are running the medium tires.
Well, there's your leaderboard, and again, it compares the pavement and the dirt and how everyone has been. And of course, there's no change. You're looking at total consistency there.
Oh yeah. You know, it's funny because I just was watching Sylvain Bedard, and he was making a couple of mistakes, so it allowed the number 1 bike to get around him. Let's see if Burkhardt's now putting the pressure on him, so let's see if he can make some time and move up another position.
Well, Scherer is, he's what, about 3.5 seconds back from Jeff Ward, who is currently 2nd. So there go your leaders there. Now you can see the interval. There's 1st and 2nd as they come on the stretch. And now we can look back. There's Scherer.
Yeah, you see what happens is these guys. Yeah, you see what happens. These guys start mixing it up together, putting the pressure and passing back and forth, and the front 2 guys are going to get away. So they got to watch that and start to not battle so much right away and just try and pull a little bit of that space back on the leaders.
Yeah, because like you're saying, Jeremy, there's offensive lines and defensive lines, and when you have to ride a defensive line, it's going to slow your pace down. And I think once these guys realize that the front guys are getting away, I think they'll try and focus on the leaders.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Keep an eye too on the number 6. That's Mark Burkhardt, the 07 gold. And Kristen, you've got something on him.
That's right. I just talked to his mechanic and said, how you guys feeling about him being in 5th right now? They said, we're confident. You know, it's early in the race. He's slowly picking them off one by one, and they're confident he'll end up on top.
Well, the trick is to just stay in contact with the leaders. Now, first and second, Lazzarini and Ward have pulled away a bit, and then you got this battle. But you are wasting some energy and time when you're caught up in that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely. These guys are now battling each other, and like Doug and I were just saying, I mean, we've been through this in motocross and supermoto. If you don't watch what you're doing, the front 2 guys get away, and then all of a sudden you're going, well, hey, where'd they go?
Yeah, Doug Henry, you know, you've won this event. When you're in a pack like that, that's fun.
Well, it's like
Well,
to be in
but no.
front of a pack like that. I choose to be in front of a pack like that. It definitely makes for good racing. And it's interesting to see. You can really know where you might be making time and losing time when you're riding with somebody that's of equal speed.
I get onto the very, very slick concrete. We're back in front now. This is Lazzarini. And there comes Jeff Ward as they come into the dirt, 80 feet down into the stadium. One of the tabletops that's here.
Looks like Lazzarini's putting a little time into Jeff Ward there. I saw Jeff go a little high in this berm over here and get a little loose, so he's got to watch his P's and Q's or he's going to lose some time to him.
Yeah, several corners. He's really throwing the back end. And I don't know, to me, Wardy seems a little frantic.
Well, you know what happens is when you start to feel like, oh man, the guy's pulling away from me, you just start to apply the pressure to yourself. You start to ride harder, and sometimes harder is not smarter. And you got to keep it smooth, especially in Supermoto with no knobbies on these tires. They're slick tires on the dirt. And he's got to just be really smooth and not get frustrated if he starts to lose a couple tenths or whatever.
Well, I know that Jeff also had an injury in May. I guess he had a motocross accident, and he did crash, and I guess he broke a bone in his ankle or something. And that could be playing into part. He said he has had a chance to get out and do some riding, but how much?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's currently the leader in AMA Supermoto, so, and he's really, really tough to beat. I mean,
oh yeah,
here's a guy that, you know, just for years and years and years has been laying it down, winning races, winning triathlons, four wheels, 2 wheels. It doesn't matter for Jeff Ward. We'll call him Wardy.
Oh yeah, he's a winner, that's for sure. And no matter what age he is, he still believes he can win, and that's why he's out here.
So first place remains Ivan Lazzarini from Italy, followed by Jeff Ward. And then Scherer, and then Bidard, the 2 Frenchmen. So our Supermoto is now approaching the halfway point. 7 laps are complete. Lazzarini remains the leader. He's led right from the start. Hey, we welcome you back. Shaquille O'Neal is the greatest athlete ever. Or at least he thinks so. Well, starting Tuesday, August 18th, he'll take on the likes of Michael Phelps, Serena Williams, other sports legends, and beat them, he says, at their own game. Shaq versus premieres Tuesday, August 18th on ABC. And we welcome you back as you're watching the Supermoto from X Games 15. The leader is that man, Ivan Lazzarini from Italy. He picked up the lead right on the start, was the fastest and had the pole position, jumped out in front, and is now steadily pulling away from Jeff Ward in second place. He's almost 2 seconds back, and it looks like he's got the world climbing up his back. Yeah, it's actually, you're right. He's the first European to get the pole position since 2004 when it was Terry Vandenbosch came over here to race. And speaking of talent, sitting in the booth with me, Doug Henry, Jeremy McGrath, sitting here with 11 AMA Supercross and Motocross championships and 2 X Game gold medals. How cool is that?
Hey, you know, guys, this race is starting to shape up here. It looked like Lazzarini was getting away from Wardy, but now Wardy, I think he smells a little blood. He's closing it back down with the 4 guys behind him.
Yeah, he's dragging everybody along with him. Look at that interval tighten down. It was 1.9 seconds last time across the line. It's now dropped to 1.6.
This is a real close race, and don't cut out. I think Mark's going right there. Mark just made a pass on the inside. They're halfway through. There's a lot of time left. You know, the interval between Lazzarini and Burkhart, 3 seconds. You can make that up in no time.
You see our Navy fly cam. What a great view that is. Let's go back and look at that pass, because Burkhart made a nice move there.
It looks like he just went a little bit wide coming in on the outside. Mark tried to set him up to try and sneak down the inside. It just worked out perfect. I'm sure he was working on that for a few laps. Double apex corners are great places to make passes.
That's the exact corner that James Stewart hit his shoulder on the wall when I was watching.
And he, look at that! He got both of them.
What happened there?
Something must have happened to Jeff. I don't know if he's hurting or something with the bike, but it's not normal for Jeff to just kind of look behind him and let a couple guys go by.
Yeah, he let Charrer and Burkhart get past him. He's now dropped into 4th. Vidar is just behind him.
Well, let's see if anyone else can take a run at the leader. Lazzarini's been pretty darn near perfect to this point.
20 laps the scheduled distance. 11 of them have gone by. What do you figure? I mean, you're laying on it pretty hard now, but you've got to be in the place you need to be, what, in about 3 more laps?
Yeah,
You know,
I think so.
We saw I'm not sure exactly what year, a couple years ago, Mark led the 1/2 a lap that mattered. So I think it all comes down to the last lap. I think any three of these guys can win. I think right now we have Ivan Lazzarini on the HM Moto Red Bull Honda, Mark Burkhart on the Monster Energy Burkhart HMC,
And New Balance fly cam. Again, that great look.
Okay, and also who else is up there? We got Adrian Scherer on a Pro Grip Monster Energy Husqvarna. So all 3 of these guys have a chance of going home with the gold.
And with that little mix-up that you had between Burkhart, Ward, and the gang as they move forward, Lazzarini was able to pull an advantage. Now sits almost 3 seconds out in front. So it jumped from 1.6 seconds all the way back to a 3-second advantage for the leader. There he is again, the number 30, Lazzarini.
Yeah, you know, it's really weird to see Jeff Ford falling back. You know, he's got a history of being the strong guy out there, and he is a tough guy, and it's really strange to see him go backwards, because like I said earlier, he's just a man of attrition. He's there at the end always.
I think it could possibly be the injury and the time off the bike. You know how it is, Jeremy, when you get an injury in racing and you have to come back, you always tend to ride a little bit tighter than you normally do.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Takes a while to get the cobwebs out when you're coming back with broken bones and injuries.
So again, the look down from above on the pavement.
You guys, Burkhart just made a pass.
Yes, he did.
Burkhart's in second. That's still have lap 12 of 20, still 8 laps to go.
Boy, Burkhart is definitely on the charge now. He just got around Scherer. And look at this group coming at you. Ward, Vidar, and Anderson.
One thing about Mark is he just had to pass 4 guys or so. He knows the places on the track to make the passes. So when he catches up to Ivan Lazzarini, I believe that he'll know where he has the chances to make the pass and where he can lay off and just relax.
Oh yeah, he smells blood now. That gap's closing down.
And down to 1.5 seconds now. And the pass for second place as he went after Scherer. Scherer is on number 1.
I think Mark just carried a lot more corner speed, and with the power of the KTM, just went right by, and he's looking ahead. He smells the blood. He's going for it.
Oh yeah, he made that look easy.
Lazzarini, Burkhart, Scherer, those are your top 3. X Games 15 continues tonight on ESPN at 7:30. The men's and women's Super X Finals, Moto X Freestyle Final, lots of stuff. A look down at the Home Depot Center. Supermoto aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Goodyear Fuel Max tires help you get on less glass. All right, we have a fight for the lead now with just a few laps to go. Just a bit under 4. Lazzarini has Burkhardt all over him. Remember, this guy won gold by taking the lead on the very last lap. And now we get a little better idea of the differences on how Lazzarini does versus Burkhardt. Burkhardt's doing everything on the pavement.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Mark, his position move up in the dirt once he got around Lazzarini. I think he's a great dirt rider. I think right now he's just sort of, he's held up just a little bit by Lazzarini.
Jeremy McGrath, Doug Henry, both here in the booth. Talk about knowledge. Help me with one thing. You're moving often on the dirt, often on the pavement, often on the concrete. What is that doing to the tires, and where does it matter the most?
Well, the concrete is really what wears out the tires, or I'm sorry, the asphalt is really what wears out the tires. The dirt doesn't really seem to hurt them too much, and the polished concrete just makes it slippery.
The tricky part about it is, actually, Paul, when you come off the dirt and you're getting back onto the blacktop or the asphalt, I mean, it's just playing mind games with yourself because you're trying to figure out how much traction you can get. Whoever can get that power back to the ground faster is going to usually make a little bit of time on the other guys. So
and look at this battle as the laps run down. Burkhardt all over the Italian Lazzarini. And Kristen, what's Burkhardt's strategy now?
That's right, you guys were talking about those places in the track where he can make up time, make those passes. I asked his mechanic, what is his favorite? Is it in the dirt? Is it in the asphalt? He said it's everywhere. Mark is so comfortable on this track. He's ready to make those passes, ready to gain time. He's going for gold.
And that's the mechanic that she's actually talking about there. Look at this battle, though. What about physically? Where are they now? They beginning to get ragged, or are they in good enough shape that this is no deal?
I think they're good. Yeah, I think they're good. These guys are pumped up right now, but when a battle like that, I'm sure Doug was going to say the same thing. When you're battling like that, with 3 laps to go, you find the energy. You'll find it.
Jeff Ward, who we were talking a lot about at the start, just got passed by Curry and now has dropped down to 7th. No factor in this.
I think Mark is just going to have to set him up. You know, Mark Burkhardt right behind Ivan Lazzarini. I think that the last few laps here are going to be a lot of thinking by Mark, thinking of where is this pass going to happen. I believe Ivan Lazzarini is also thinking the same thing. Where can he get me? Where do I see his front tires sneaking in?
Well, Burkhardt seems to really close up as they transition to the pavement. We know he's done his passing there, so logically that's where he's going to go again.
Well, I also
New
believe,
Balance fly cam coming out overhead.
I also believe, guys, that Mark's in a good position. There's 3 laps to go. He's the one applying the pressure. When you're riding in front, it's a lot easier to be in second and follow the guy and just set up the move.
And to point out one other thing, I just looked in front of these guys. They got lappers coming up. That plays a whole new game. If you come up on a lapper and he doesn't know you're there, he thinks you're somebody else battling with him, there's a chance that he can hold you back and just make that pass so much easier.
Yeah, that usually affects the leader, unfortunately. It usually affects the leader more than it affects the second place rider.
Well, right now, as you look down, as they head into the stadium, it doesn't look like there are any back markers immediately ahead of them, and it might be clear all the way for the 3 laps left to go.
Oh, yeah, look at this. They're getting tight.
Now watch Burkhardt when he comes up, and they come into the transition. He'll come up and really crowd Lazzarini.
I noticed,
there he goes!
Off the
Wow! Unbelievable! Lazzarini comes right back at him. Lazzarini almost gets it in the wall. Burkhardt almost dumps it.
Wow.
Ivan Lazzarini just got off the main line. He got into the loose stuff just a little bit and went up that hill, and he wasn't going to let Mark go by him.
He hit that berm like he had knobbies. The guy was riding motocross right there.
Here we are. We're talking about how he's going to do on the pavement, and he charges in the dirt.
Wow. That was great, Pat. Great way to save the lead there.
Okay, tactically, was that a mistake? Did he just show too much?
Well, one thing that could have happened is he might have got Mark just a little bit angry, knowing that, hey, he was coming in to clean me out. And in this last corner of this dirt section here, before the finish line, the door is going to be wide open.
Oh, yeah.
What's Ivan Lazzarini going to do? Is he going to take the outside line where it's going to allow Mark to sneak inside, or is he going to try to just, tap his foot around the inside and sneak around the inside and not give Mark that opportunity to take him out?
Well, if I'm Mark Burkhardt on the last lap in the last corner and he goes for the main line, I'd say he's off the berm.
I'm with you, Jeremy.
I mean, Mark's setting that up. He's setting that up.
And there's what you talked about. There are some floor riders ahead, but generally they know what's going on. We are on the last lap. White flag has come out.
All right, boys, it's going to be a showdown.
Burkhardt pulls it way, way wide, drops back some.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he made a little mistake coming out of the dirt, but he lost a little bit there. Let's hopefully, if Ivan Lazzarini realizes that he has this little bit of a gap, he can ride more of a line that it's not defensive, it's more aggressive, and he'll be able to pick up the speed once again.
Oh yeah, you get 1 or 2 bike lengths on a guy, and that really brings the heart rate down slightly, and you can ride more within yourself instead of trying to protect it.
If Mark wants this pass to happen, he really has to get right on his tire for it to happen.
Well, Berkey is closing again, and he's pretty close to that position. Now he drops a bit there. Boy, Lazzarini, the Italian, maybe on his way to getting a gold medal here in Supermoto at X Games 15. Burkhardt's trying everything he can.
Well, they got, like, here they come in the stadium. I think it's not enough.
Oh, screaming for the finish.
No way.
It's going to have to be a miracle now.
Oh, yeah.
And Lazzarini makes the turn. Burkhardt not close enough. Lazzarini is your gold medalist.
Ivan Lazzarini, the first European to win X Games Supermoto gold.
Oh, yeah. Very good race. Led it from start to finish.
And there is your bronze medalist, Charrier of France. So we got 3 different nations represented. That's the Italian right there.
Oh, yeah. Burkhardt rode a really good race. I think he got a little flustered when he came up the tunnel there.
Oh, there he is, yeah.
Lazzarini played it real smart. Did a little motocrossing to get that gold.
But that's the guy. Ivan Lazzarini, he takes the win. Burkhardt seems so frustrated, doesn't even want to come down on the floor now.
Well, he's up on the...
Nice job. Let's take a look at the battle for the lead throughout this race. It was pretty good. This is that one move.
Right there, he just got off into the loose stuff, and I think Mark really thought he had the pass, but he left the door just a little bit open for Ivan Lazzarini to just jump inside.
Hey, Mark, I think Mark made a little mistake there. Once he knew he was coming up on his inside there and wasn't going to let off, he should have braked and maybe went underneath him.
And there they are at the finish. The 30-year-old Italian, Ivan Lazzarini, has taken the win here in Supermoto. Before the race, he said it would be a dream come true. Well, he has his dream, and he has his goal.